potential threats, and the middle sister has kind of her attention has gone back to the window of the door.
What is this window you're fascinated by? I say, while the dragon's telling the young one a story or something. I don't know if he is.
Yeah.
So she does that thing where she's like, her entire face, like she's got her hands on the panes and she's looking through the window. It's hard to describe. It's not quite beautiful. More violent, but there's something there. The eldest sister, caveman with a chisel, thrusting it at jagged form, hoping to produce something. She says, "Not worth our time, sister."
Oh, so something that could be art, or is the attempt at it?
Yes, and that's that's what the middle sister says. Could be, she says, and I find this fascinating. So violent.
Being the first of anything. Well, it may not be the greatest. Something has to be the first, and that makes it so it's special in itself.
It's lowbrow, says the eldest sister. If it is anything at all. Hardly worth our time. We merely happened upon this landing thinking a great threat might come through, and just a poor lost soul shouting in the dark instead. Not aware of what art this creature is trying. The creature isn't even aware of what art is trying to pin down, let alone that the door lies right behind it.
Do you mind if I take a look?
The eldest sister just kind of like moves to the side, and the middle sister, "Oh, please," she says. "Maybe you can make sense of it."
I'll look.
Okay. You peer through the window
With
and
all
see
of my visions.
you peer through the window and see a small room with a dingy sort of carpet, no light except from a small box on a table, and sort of a smaller framed man, looks like human, smashing his fists into a black box on a table. You hear these clicking and pounding noises, and then he gets frustrated and drinks, and muffled noises come at him from somewhere, and he yells at them, sometimes throwing things.
Oh, I think I know what this is.
See, it's not...
Well, I'm a little disappointed, and I'm not saying this out loud, I was hoping for an actual... I mean, they were not being literal, of course, but, I was actually hoping for a caveman, to see, the first attempt at art of a world, Wouldn't that be grand? But they were, of course, just talking about how... whatever, basic or, unevolved or some such, according to their, idea of art. But here's a guy smashing away at a typewriter.
Mm-hmm. Yes. See, nothing much to look at. Still curious, says the middle sister. They've kind of perceived a violent threat or something, and you can feel the sort of coldness coming off this doorway, but it's not, because they're always, all the doors are either they have a warmth or a coldness to them, but that's about it. Enough for if you're charged with guarding the doors and stuff, you would stop to make sure it's not a demon coming through, and then see, oh, it's just a shitty human.
So you have to look through and say something profound, yes, not a threat really, but he is doomed.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Still, I can't enter, I'm sure. There's no magic in this world.
That's the real tragedy, says the eldest sister.
Leave you with a gift then, a thought experiment. If there were, how different would he be? How different would he create? I just like leave.
That's the question for the ages. You guys continue your ascent then?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Corian, roll for the second story. You tell the youngest sister. And I use older